Hello, Linda. I thought I would try a new format and see if I can ask some questions while I'm watching the video because I need some dialogue about some of my confusions. So, here I'm trying with a stick, obviously at a walk. And I guess one of my questions is the practice with a stick only about keeping your hands level, or is it also supposed to somehow help with the back and forth movement of the horse's head? He always sneezes twice. Now, I don't quite understand why he was raising his head there. And I'm asking for a shoulder in. Now, is this good contact or not good contact? It's bouncing, so I would say not. But the stick was stayed there. It's a bamboo stick. That's our first time cantering with a stick. So I see I lower my inside hand, and in fact it should be up, should it not, on the inside circle? Here I lose it completely because I lower the hand. And I'm actually hanging on to it at this point, so I give up. I give up because I don't understand how to be working with the balancing stick when I'm trying to do a shoulder in and using a stick to help him get his hips out, which we don't do very successfully. That's my understanding. The shoulder in on a volte is supposed to have the hips out like right about there. Is that correct? Not quite correct. Still could be more of an angle. Like there, maybe? No. There, is that right? But he's supposed to maintain that around the whole circle. Now I'm seeing if his stride is lengthened. Checking the stride again. I'm not dropping the reins, as you told me, but he keeps expecting a treat. Really is not easy for me to get him to get that hip out. Mostly because I don't seem to slow him down enough with his front end, maybe. Checking the stride again. And I really can't tell. I just do not know how to get him to lengthen his stride. There's possibly a tiny feather of a lengthen. Now I'm going to try trot on a shoulder in, volte, volt. My reins are too long. Now I was taught to raise your inside hand, which would unseat the balancing stick. He thought he was going to canter. Now I would just call this a circle instead of a shoulder in on a volt. And I think I said I have a great deal of difficulty posting when I'm trying to do lateral movements. I just can't put the two together yet. Going to see if I can do I think a diagonal across the arena. No, not yet. Now I'm going to see if I can get him to stretch out on a diagonal across the arena. Now wasn't sure if I'd be out of frame, so I cut it a bit short. There again. And now he lowers his neck for a moment. I'm going to try that again and get him to lower his neck. My hand's maybe a bit low. Whoops, he raised his head again. Now I'm doing squares. Now, is this how you do a square, or are you supposed to stop and literally pivot the hind end around the front, or the front around the hind? Or do you write a square just like you write a corner? Okay, now I'm trying to work on the pole. Last year in California, we just barely got to that stage, starting me on that. And I don't really know what I'm doing. There, is that nice? Or is that over? There. But he keeps wanting to go below. So now I'm showing you just the beginning work before we went into the arena, just to double check on this. And you notice I'm not using the bosalito, though I do think it helped a lot in getting him to quit gapping his mouth out of habit. Even though he had plenty of room in the bosalito, but I think he has more jaw mobilization without it. I think you're right. He's being a little stiff on this side. You got a little stiff on this side. This side has always been hard for me to get him to stretch his neck out as opposed to curl it down, but he's getting better. Oops. There. Now we're going to try for a pull. I don't really know what I'm doing. That's first just a down. There's a tiny pull. Now a down. Now I try for a pull again. There. And then I let it go. So, and so it goes. Whoops, one more maybe. Thanks.